Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Greg Jabesi, and this is another episode of the Grey F podcast. To some of you who are perhaps listening to this podcast for the first time, first of all, you've been missing out. The Grey F podcast is the top podcast, the number one podcast in Africa. We talk business, technology, life in general, lessons about how can we become the best versions of ourselves in different type of areas. So instead of just focusing on one aspect, as an open-minded person who likes to learn, because I believe that learning never stops, we do all different subjects here. So you can pick and choose what works for you. But basically, I speak to all sorts of different people, specifically those that I'm personally interested in when I see that I can learn something from them. So I hope you find this helpful. You can go on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, or my website. You can find all different episodes that I've done before. I've done hundreds of episodes. So go and check out the Grey F podcast. I do recommend you do that. So today, we're doing an interesting episode with Meir Ezra. So I've done a couple of episodes already with him. Like I said, I'm just going to be putting them out slowly, and they're receiving a really, really good response from people. They love this podcast because, the lessons that are coming out of these, I have to say, I've learned a lot from Meir Ezra. He knows a lot of things, and he knows how to articulate things that maybe you might feel or you might realize, or you can't put them into words, if you know what I mean. So this is exactly why I had to do a lot of interviews with him, and I will continue doing so because they're receiving a lot of good ratings out there. So today we're gonna speak about he will talk about how to become Jewish in 20 minutes. Basically, how this came out to be was that I wanted to ask him, like, hey, why are Jewish people so successful financially, especially? And this is the question that a lot of people have, or it's kind of like, it's a stereotype, of course, but there's some truth to every stereotype. That's what I believe. So, he laid it out for me. This is more of a tongue-in-cheek approach, but there's a lot of knowledge that you can pick out from this and apply it into your life. So I hope you enjoy it. Remember to subscribe to the Grey F podcast. And right now, I'll let you enjoy my conversation with Meir Ezra. And how does one become a Jew? Whether, figuratively or in any way.
So do you know the joke why Jewish people circumcise, no?
No.
Because Jewish women like everything 15% off.
I've never heard of that before.
Okay. So what's the difference in how to become Jewish, yes? I think that, I know that the biggest difference is that Jewish people for eons had this amazing interest to understand each and every word. Every word from every aspect, by what numbers the word represent, what the meaning, what's the many meaning of the same word, and they investigated the words to such a degree that they gain knowledge that is unparalleled to anyone else. And it was only a viewpoint that they want to understand the words, because if they will understand the word, they will understand the concept. If they understand the concept, they will demonstrate control. And the Bible starts with, at the first was the word.
Yeah.
The word is everything. Understand the words, and you will have everything you want. Understand the words and the symbols.
So what do you mean when you say words are just symbols and?
So basically, if you take a word,
yeah,
and you understand it, if you understood all the words, you'll understand the sentence, which will cause you to understand the idea.
Yeah.
And if you understand the idea, once you have the knowledge, which is understanding all those ideas, what you get control, and control brings income. So if you want the income, which is the stigma or the viewpoint of people that the Jewish people have a lot of money, or they can just print money, It is actually because of the know-how, because of the knowledge, and that knowledge is the sum of all the words and symbols that you have the correct definition for. Knowledge is the sum of all the words and symbols you have the correct definition for. If you have the knowledge, you will have control. If you have control, you will have income, and you become Jewish.
So they just have, so the Jewish people just have more understanding of the words and the symbols.
They have an immense, unbelievable amount of interest in understanding the words, not the ideas. The ideas is a byproduct. Understanding each word. Once you understand the words, you cannot help it but understand the sentence. And if you understood the sentences, you cannot help it. You understand the idea. And when you understand the ideas, what you have is total control over everything.
Wow. So give an example of one actionable thing that one could do to enter the world of understanding.
Good. So the first thing you need to do is to find a simple dictionary. Simple.
Okay.
I recommend Incata. Microsoft Incata, if you can find it, it's a really, in my opinion, one of the best dictionaries ever. You take a dictionary, and when you read, when you hear things, and if you feel you didn't get the idea, if you find yourself lost, find the word you don't have the full definition for, and find it in the dictionary. Or you talk to someone and he tells you, this is really a very powerful thing to do. What's the difference between power, energy, force? You don't understand it? Ask the guy, hey, what does it mean, powerful? Ask him. Don't just go, just ask. Or even if you note to yourself, I'm not sure I know this word, the moment that you note to yourself that you didn't understand, it doesn't have as much effect on you because you removed part of the lie.
Okay. So basically in how we communicate these days, just by using words, we pretty much have created a whole lot of false reality.
That's correct. And that's why you talk to this person and you sure he understands you, and a week later you meet him and you say, but this is what we agree. And he said, no, we don't. How do I know? Check how many disagreements happening every day within the same family, never mind other people. How many disagreements? What happened? It's not that everyone is lying. It is you say something you did not understand, you tell me something I did not understand, and what we have is this fake reality.
Yes.
And a mess. But if you tell me something and I actually make sure that I understand what you say by understanding the words, not the concept. The words. I want to understand each word. You understand each word. You will see. You will understand the idea.
So why do the Jewish community like to keep it in the family?
Because there's an agreement about what is those understanding are, what are the basic principles that we understand, and because of that there's less arguments externally, and what you see that the word life is the result of understanding, or understanding bring life. You'll see that when people did not understand much, the life expectancy was 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
The more understanding you gain, the more life you gain. So life is the result of understanding. The spirit that comes into a body actually have to have some understanding of the body in order to live. And if not, the child will not survive.
Could you give an example of some of those principles?
Yes. So let's say, for example, and it's not just for Jewish people, but that's, for example, there is an idea that the family is important because if the family is not functioning, the business will not function.
Okay.
The family is important because if the family will not function, the business will not function. There's an idea like that in the Jewish religion.
Okay.
Now, if you understand it, you will make everything possible to keep your family. everything possible.
Yes.
And because of that, your business will function. If anyone will check, anyone that's listening to us, if you lost money, you'll see just before that, something with your family, girlfriend, sex, children, something there was not exactly ethical.
Mm-hmm.
You cheated your girlfriend or your wife, and then you lost money. You didn't notice that there is a connection. But if you will check, you will see that it's actually like that. The source, all problems with business, for business owners, come from an earlier, not ethical behavior on family, children, sex, or creativity. This is all that same area of the family.
Yes.
You are not ethical in that area, your business will suffer.